The future is independent, and there's just really no room anymore for the corporate nonsense.
This Delta plane came in for a landing in the snow and 70-mile-an-hour winds, and it flipped completely over. You can see, I don't see it as clearly in this shot, but this shot right here, let's take that one up. The wheels up in the air. They've got the middle door open and the front door open, obviously, and they were helping passengers get out of there. But imagine this, all these folks are with their seatbelts on, we think, because only 8 people were injured, thank God, and one of them is critical, and we hope that person's okay. It looks like the one wing, if we're looking at it correctly, is broken off and on top of this aircraft as it lies upside down. I mean, this is just an absolutely extraordinary story. The flight was coming from Minneapolis. As we said, all passengers and crew are accounted for.
Yes, praise God for the safety of these Delta Airline passengers. Yes, we really don't hate the media enough. Why is NBC trying to link President Trump's federal workforce cut to the Delta Airline crash that just took place in Toronto? I don't understand why these people do this every time.
I did want to, underscore, to pick up on the conversation you were just having, though, in terms of the recent string of aviation incidents, Tom. This is going to, yet again, raise the concern about FAA staffing, air traffic control staffing. Now, this is a Canadian air traffic control tower, and this is under Canadian authority once it crosses the border. And yet, as you know, there has been this talk about maybe staff cuts at the FAA as a part of President Trump's effort to trim down the federal workforce. And yet, as you also know, the FAA has been complaining for years that they are understaffed in critical job positions, especially air traffic control. I was having a conversation with somebody today about whether air traffic control in America is being affected by the staff cuts. So far, not to their knowledge, and yet other positions related to maintaining critical equipment appear to have been cut. So this is going to feed into all of these recent incidents, and the safety of the total air traffic system is going to be very much a part of the conversation as we go forward, at least on this side of the country, of the border, I should say.
The future is independent, and there's just really no room anymore for the corporate nonsense that comes with being part of a huge corporation. As America's now seen, they're doing somebody else's bidding. Like, you've got to do what the Murdochs want you to do. You got to do what NBC Brass wants you to do. And look at me, look at Tucker, look at Glenn. Like, there is zero chance that we could be saying the things we're saying right now if we were still on these networks. Can you imagine me still on NBC being like, a man cannot become a woman? Okay, good luck with that. Or Tucker having the conversations he is having. I mean, that's probably half the reason they got rid of Tucker, is because he was having forbidden conversations. So it's wonderful to be out of those shackles and just to be able to say what's real and not really have to give a shit about how people feel about it.
You can see how they politicize everything. This man is struggling to blame Trump, Elon Musk for the workforce cut. I don't know if they did that in Canada too, because you cannot take something that happened in Canada, you try to blame it to the United States. I don't get it. I don't understand why the mainstream media continue to do this. People are running away from them. They don't realize. This just opened the way to what Megyn Kelly said on this video. Like, the time for these people is over because they don't say the truth. They have that script that they have to follow through every single day. Okay, look at what Megyn Kelly and Tucker are doing now. They are able to speak up the truth on what is happening. As a result, we will never know the truth if they continue or if they proceeded to work with these people. It is insane.
Quickly, we have some breaking news now, and this would appear to be another legal victory for the president and the person he's tasked with the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, Elon Musk. A federal judge has just declined to issue an order halting Elon Musk and Doge from accessing federal data and slashing personnel. Attorneys general from 14 states are attempting to stop Musk and Doge from accessing data in 7 federal agencies and from firing or putting on leave employees in those agencies. U.S. District Court Judge Chutkan just refused to issue a ruling from the bench. So at that point, she has not halted Musk and Doge from continuing their actions inside the 7 agencies at issue here. Just real quickly, because of your legal background, your quick thinking.
All right. 2 of the Supreme Court justices have subtly indicated that they would like to strike down the prevailing rule. It's not statutory. Those 2 being Thomas and Kavanaugh, in dicta, in other decisions. They'd like to get rid of this rule that a single district court judge someplace in the country can issue a ruling that holds for the entire country. It's not what the founding fathers expected here, and it's been gamed. And, you know, the right can do it too, so the left shouldn't be too quick to oppose that.
This is good news. I don't know why Libras continue to demonstrate on the street. When you take a look at The View, I understand you don't want to watch them, but there is something more concerning with this lady.
If you go to the Doge website, well, first of all, he said in that press conference, you can go to the Doge on X, which he owns. So that's part of the problem here. But then he says, go to the Doge website. On there, the first things you can do is buy a meme coin, T-shirts and hats. I couldn't find, and I literally looked for any piece of data that could be portrayed as some transparency. He has one debt chart that's a graph. And I'm like, okay, we already knew we had problems with our debt. Where's the new information? No clickable links, nothing. So when he says it's public, I'm not sure what he means. And just because someone's speaking a lot, I heard someone last night that was talking when Alyssa was on CNN about, hey, this president keeps grabbing the mic. He's talking to us all the time. Remember when Biden didn't do that? It matters what you say, not how often you talk. So when you're on the air.
What are the plans to do so if those records are obtained?
Well, as we know, there's a massive amount of fraud in this country. You have, for example, foreign fraud rings. These are foreign nationals who come into the United States. They use fake Social Security numbers. They use fake identities to steal billions in taxpayer benefits. There's no way to know until Doge gains full access exactly how much money we're talking about. But over a 10-year normal budget window, you could be talking about saving over $1 trillion.
Yes, there is something people didn't realize. Activist George, who blocked Trump's spending freeze, has hidden money ties. You know, as days are going by, things are coming out. Federal Judge John failed to disclose his rule at Crossroads Island while ruling against Trump's spending freeze. His non-profit received $128 million in government funding during his 18-year board tenure, including $42 million from 2020 to 2023. Rhode Island, a plaintiff in the case, already sent his organization $2.9 million in 2025. The judge ordered federal funds to keep flowing to state and coincidentally to his own non-profit. Yes, federal laws require judges to rescue themselves when their impartiality might be questioned. Wonder why he did it. When you see these judges stepping in to stop Trump at a certain point, just understand that some are scared. They have cockroaches in their cupboard. Reason they are doing that. I saw this, I could not bypass. I just wanted to do a segment so you can see exactly what is going on because Libras don't actually even like to see us reporting on things like this.
One of the things he is excellent at, and the media takes the bait often, is he writes himself into every story. Like, just thinking about it, he didn't just do the Super Bowl interview, he attended the Super Bowl. When we have the astronauts stuck on the International Space Station, Elon Musk was already going to get them, but he took credit. I'm going to get the astronauts back. When TikTok was down to 167 million people, thank you, Donald Trump, that we're back up. He is working in a 21st century media environment that is outpacing the traditional media, but also the opposition. I think Dems are kind of playing on a 1990s playbook of like, if I go speak on the Senate floor or if I go on Meet the Press, it's going to stop him. And they've got to get quick and smart if they're wanting to push back and how people are communicating now because
they have to unify.
If you see clips after this is just for the algorithm. It helps the channel in a way I can't explain here.
A bully and a thug who's the president of the United States, U.S., it's everywhere.
There is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse within a system.
Audits. A chance to see what happens when you take a business approach to the government in the White House. We're seeing right now with this whole U.S. aid thing, where they're uncovering massive amounts of corruption.
And also, I got to say, don't you agree? I totally agree.
Essential.
Early on, immediately.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10 to her.
The EU does not treat the U.S. fairly on trade and that he has some big complaints. Is that true?
Right? And it doesn't mean that we should sit and pretend that it's suddenly okay, that this new presidency is just going to keep on keeping on. That is not the case. And
awful things have happened. So, and sparks move things. And it doesn't matter how much water you have.
Future president and his gag are
quality and policy.
The city of the Pacific Palisades is burning. And, I flew here last night. I was on a plane.
You getting water to areas that need.
He's been trained his whole life to do.
What do we do?
Right now you're looking straight. Remember it.
As a country about January.
Yeah, and then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know.
Jim Jordan.
Josh Green, the governor.
Watch news or talk.
Now look, I have a lot of.
The Democratic Party has about everything.
The next department that appears to be on the chopping block is the Department of Education. Just earlier today.
Well, thank you. Hey, now speaking of church, can I?
In common, they're all terrified of Ronan Farrow.
Is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires.
On Team Chiefs, literally right next to us was Taylor Swift. Those are boo.